have a flat horizon, like say out on the water, we would call it zero elevation.
You're going to have a couple of last-minute cars coming your way.
The sun will come up due east. It sets due west. Now we have a little bit of a horizon over there, so it's not absolutely perfect. And the apparent motion of the sun along the horizon is the greatest at the equinox. This is that halfway point between the two extremes, what we call solstice. Winter, summer solstice. Summer at the north side, winter at the south side. Solstice means sun stands still, and for 4 or 5 days the sun will rise in those positions. But not so at the equinox. The sun is moving fast. It's actually the tilt of the earth, and at 2:44 this morning, actual equinox occurred, which means the sun was right at the equator, crossing the equator. We're several hours away, but it's pretty close. The reason I like the equinox sunrise here at Rinconada more than the solstices is because I never know if it's going to work. Because that few hours can make a big difference. And every year it's a little bit different, and you may notice that sometimes it's as late as the 23rd, sometimes it's as early as the 20th, usually 21st, 22nd. But it shifts a bit. So, when the sun rises today, it will be near the tip of that bluff, which is also due east of Rinconada, and the two doors being east and west of each other. If you want to get a picture of it through the doors, we have to go to the other side, which we'll do in just a moment. But those of you who'd like to see a really precise alignment, you can stand on this side and watch the shadow of this door on the east side actually align with the door on the other side. But it's real important, if you're on this side, don't stand in front of the door. There'll be a lot of people over there who will instantly want to have a sacrificial ceremony, and you'll be the guest of honor. So the cooperation is required, but if you want to get a picture, what you can do is get in a long line on the other side of the door and watch the sun come through the two doors. So this will all work if the sun appears. Right now, we would see those first few seconds of the sunrise. But sunrise doesn't happen for another, well, here it's going to be a little over 20 minutes. All right? So, equinox, all over the world. On this day, people are celebrating. Not everybody. I grew up in a culture that didn't care about the equinox, barely cared about the solstices. It wasn't described to us. We didn't understand its purpose. We didn't understand its meaning. We didn't understand the significance. But people all over the world, different people, and certainly the people here who have descended from the Chacoans, they have been very involved in the acknowledgement of these times of year, where the sun will reach a certain position. Today, midway between the two solstices. Now, following this, we have a guest speaker, Ron Sutcliffe. Is he here? There he is, right there, who has done a lot of original research at this building and other places as well, really regarding the lunar cycle, which is another whole issue. And he will give a tour of this building and talk about that and maybe other things as well. So you're welcome to join in on that, and I'll introduce him again. It'll happen about 7:30, certainly after the sun has come up. So enjoy this morning, enjoy your day, enjoy this moment halfway between the two solstices, the extension of the sun. And whether this building was built to commemorate this, to acknowledge it, to align with it, we do not know that. We don't know if all of this worked exactly the same way. This has been excavated and to a certain extent rebuilt. And those doors have been extensively rebuilt. However, the position of the doors is pretty much identified as being the positions that they were 1,000 years ago. And that's what would make the difference. So if you have any questions, I'm here, Ron is here, but let me take you over to the other side, and I'll show you where you can line up and get your pictures, and then I'll come back over here and show you how you can see the precise alignment of the shadow of this door on the other door. All right? So follow me.
Good morning. You made it for another one.
Yeah, probably the last one.
Oh, you'll be back next year. I know you too well from all the years.